What am I doing out here? Out here in the woods, hanging out with the dogs. I mean, don't I got somewhere to go? Don't I have like stuff to do, a job to go to? Shouldn't I be grinding, accomplishing things in life, making money? Well, normally at this time I would be getting dressed. I would have cleaned my beard up a little bit and put on some nice clothes and drove to my corporate job in the city. But I don't have that job. I resigned this week. Why? Because I can. Because I choose. I choose to be out here instead. We all have choices in life. Most of us don't think we do have choices. We actually do. We're free. We just don't realize it. And I choose to be out here. I choose to live out here. Well, literally. I mean, my house is right down the way there, so I do live out here. And I drive into the city every day to go to work. But I've decided not to do that anymore. Because I've realized life is short, even though it's not really short. I mean, I feel that life is endless. But various aspects of our life is short. And the aspect that I'm in my life right now is I want to just be, I want to enjoy my surroundings. Out here I learn about the universe. I learn about nature. I like to say I learn the secrets of the universe out here. And when I say that, I'm not talking about something out there. I'm talking about the universe that exists in here. Because really, the universe is a mirror. It's a mirror of our own soul. When we go into vast wildernesses of, let's say, desert wastelands, when you look at that landscape, you're looking at an aspect of your soul. You're looking at a dry, arid aspect of your soul. And when you keep traveling, maybe you come upon a beautiful forest where it rains a lot and the rocks are covered with moss and there's rivers and lakes. It seems refreshing. It's an aspect of your soul. Then at night, when we look above and we see the stars and the vastness and the darkness, it's really an aspect of your own soul. So, why did I quit my job? Why did I resign? Because I want to focus. I want to focus on my soul. That thing which is eternal, it does not end. Instead of being bound up, being enslaved. And I don't mean slavery in a bad way. I just mean your time. Your time is being condensed and encapsulated into something that sucks and drains your energy. And we all do it for essentially digits on a screen. You can call it money. And we could think that that's real. Money is real. You know, they say money doesn't grow on trees. The last time I looked at a dollar bill, it was made of paper. It was made of paper. And money doesn't grow on trees? Yeah. They can print money anytime they want. it's fictional. It's an illusion. And now they don't even need to chop down these trees and print imaginary money. Now it's just digits on a screen. It means nothing. Why do we sell our soul for digits on a screen? An illusion. It's because we don't trust the universe. We don't trust our own soul. The eternal aspect, the vastness of who we really are. We don't trust. Instead, we're trusting in a system, the Maya, the illusion. We're trusting in that to provide for every aspect of our life. No, going into the city, trusting the system to provide all of my needs and luxuries and things that I want and desire. It's an open-air prison of sorts. By choice, it's a choice we stay within the confines of this open-air prison that's been designed for us to extract the best of our life. From the age of 20 to 60, that's the prime of our lives. That's really when we've learned and grow and are the most lively in all of life. Though, there's a lot of 90-year-olds that are very lively and full of wisdom and grace. But in general, I'm just generally speaking here. 20 to 60 years old, that's our prime. And that's exactly when the system grabs us and takes us in. You know what? Even before that, even when we're in our late teens and getting out of high school, before we've even made an imaginary dollar, we get in debt. The system from day one, before we even know how to make money, enslaves us into debt because it tells us we have to go to college to get a good job. We have to get $180,000 in debt before we've even earned a single dollar. What does that do? It enslaves you so that now you have to go into the system and you have to work to pay back the debt that you got into before you even learn how to make money. It starts early. It takes us from the prime of our life. You know why the markets, the stock market and all that, they always look at the jobs report. I've tracked the stock market. I've been in business for 26 years. The job I resigned from, I was consulting for a multi-billion-dollar company, managing an $80 million portfolio of business accounts. I've ran my own companies, I've bought companies, I've sold companies. I've had a decent amount of business success, though I've had a lot of low times, high times. That's the thing about being in the business world. You have to get used to high times and low times and desolate times, just like the soul and the desolate wilderness I had mentioned. That's just an aspect of life. But there are ups and downs. With these ups and downs, as I mentioned, the jobs market, why do they look at the jobs market all the time? Because that's how the system operates. The economy is fueled by the humanity of people who have been pulled into the system from a young age to work, to buy, to consume, to pay taxes. All of these things require time, energy, and that only comes from people. The Matrix movie. Well, we were batteries in that movie, essentially, right? We were in these pods, and the robots were using us for energy. That's absolute reality. This world, this corporate economic powerhouse of a world, is using us for energy to fuel the system. And they start us young. They start us in elementary school. They take us out of a natural setting like this, or with our family and our parents and working around the house. They take us at a young age and they put us in a square box, literally, a school building, in a square classroom, sitting at a square desk, reading square textbooks. So the whole world is square. And then they're training you and getting you used to this box so that you can go out into the world and work in a cubicle in a square office building. They're training everyone to be accustomed to this from an early age, and to ensure that we don't escape. They promote college, going to college, getting a good education. You know, I've learned from a lot of financial advisors and different people that getting in debt is not a great financial move, unless you're in the business world and you're using leverage to build assets and all of that stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into finances here, but I understand those aspects. But in general, getting in debt's not a good idea. But that's the first thing we're taught to do. Go to school, get in debt. Why? That way we have to go into the system to pay off that debt. That's what we're supposed to do. Go from the square schoolhouse to the square cubicle. Pay off that debt. And live the rest of our life saving for this magical endpoint, retirement. No. You know, retirement, we can have it now. We don't have to keep working in this system like robots, like batteries, fueling the system. We could choose to be free. But, yeah, I know. Some people will be thinking, oh yeah, but you've been in business for 26 years, you bought and sold companies, oh, you're doing well, so you can. I understand that. But let's go into that aspect. Only reason I was able to do anything in business is because I created value. I used my mind, my body, my labor, whatever it took to create value for other people. And they exchanged financial, money, the illusion of money, so that I could obtain houses, raise a family, do all those things. And that's how I spent most of my time as an entrepreneur. But I was still, as an entrepreneur, I was still bound up in the system because of my mindset. I always thought I needed more, build more, scale more, get more accounts, hire more employees. But looking back, less is more. Simplicity of life is more. This here, hanging out right now today instead of going to work, is far more satisfying than the past when, I had been able to, at times in my life, buy really nice cars and live in big fancy houses. And I've also had low times where business was really bad and things went bankrupt and not so well. It's the ups and downs of life. But at the end of the day, we have a choice. We have a choice where we can choose our higher self. What is our higher self? It's the universe. It's that soul. You can choose to live for your soul. Choose to be free. You are free. We're all free. We just have an illusion that is encapsulated around us that we aren't free. It's like being in a cage and it's not even locked. It's not even a lock there. And we try to find, we strive. We know we're in a cage, and then we're like, I gotta find a way out. Especially once we awaken. Like, and then you strive spiritually, physically, you strive. Maybe you go and get more education. You want a better career. You watch videos on YouTube about manifestation and how to become wealthy and manifest wealth and money. Wealth isn't money. I can tell you for sure, wealth is not money. I was making good money. I just resigned. Wealth is not money. Wealth is absolute freedom. That's what true wealth is, absolute freedom. It's kind of funny, all the different religions, I've studied comparative religions for a long time. As you know, on this channel, you see my 100-something other videos. I spent several years studying Kabbalah and so forth, and produced these videos and wrote a couple books and all that stuff. But studying these religions, the basis of every religion, whether it's Christianity looking for a savior, and an outside savior, it's all about freedom. That's the basis of all religion, in the spiritual sense. People desire freedom. It's either a Messiah that somehow has escaped the matrix, has escaped death. You know, mortality, death, is, we view it as a way of being bound. We're bound by something. Therefore, if a savior raises from the dead, he's free. He's immortal. That's freedom. That's ultimate freedom. Having nothing that binds you, not even death itself. That's why the gods and other traditions are the immortals. They're free. So every aspect of our life, for thousands and thousands of years, different various traditions and religions, all are based on freedom. Of course, once those spiritual traditions got overtaken by a conglomerate of what I would call the priesthood, or the religious systems and institutions, it's the opposite of freedom. That's a different type of enslavement, but I won't go there now in this video. My point in this short video is freedom, and understanding our soul is absolutely free. It is this entire universe. We are a mirror of this universe. Even a mirror is not even a good analogy, because a mirror is something separate. When you look in a mirror, yeah, you see the image of yourself, but the mirror is completely separate. What I'm talking about is we are not separate. We are the universe. We're not a drop in the ocean. We're the entire vastness of the ocean in a single drop. We are absolutely free, and we are sufficient. Why do we live a life of slavery, of bondage, for an illusion, for digits on a screen? So, this is where this channel's going now. I'm not making these lecture religious videos and studies on comparative religion and studies on biblical verses and so forth, and using AI to generate images and so forth. This is just me, Avraham, in the woods behind my house, no longer going into the city every day to work in the system. I've chosen to live a free life. And I'll continue making these short videos and let you know how I do it. Let you know what living a free life of just being and enjoying existence is like. I'll keep you updated. Farewell for now.